Hey George, I just got word that everything is looking great for my loan to close as scheduled and on time, but how do I know when my first mortgage payment is going to be? Well, that's a question that I get all the time, so welcome into thecreditjungle.com. This is George Anderson.
George of the jungle, strong as he can be.
And let's just go over this a little bit, and we'll talk about institutional conforming loans. So FHA, VA, conventional, USDA, and realistically most of the non-QM loans so follow this same principle as well. But if your loan is going to fund and record, okay, anywhere on the 6th day of the month, the 6th calendar day, up through the last day of the month. For example, this video, I'm making this one in March. And so if you were going to close March 6th through March 31st, that's your date of settlement. Your first payment date is not going to be until May 1st. So you do not have a payment in the month of April. You do not have an April 1st payment. However, what you do have to do at the closing table, let's just say you're closing on March 10th and you've got 21 days left in the month. Yes, you get to skip that April 1st payment. You don't have a payment there. You'll have one on May 1st. But for those 21 days from March 10th to March 31st, you'll have to bring in the interest in advance. You'll have to pay forward that interest in advance from the 10th through the 31st. Okay? So you're bringing a little bit extra money to closing. Now let's just say if you had everything scheduled and you were going to close your loan on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th of the month, but either way it was going to fund, the 1st through the 5th. Now at that point you have an option, okay? You have the option of either you could skip that April payment and have the payment be May 1st, but then you've got to bring in the interest to cover the whole month of March in advance. So it's technically going to increase your cash to close by the interest portion on that loan for the entire month of March, or if it ends up being, if it's 27 or 28 days on that. So you can do that. The other thing you could do is that if you say you're going to close on the 4th of March, okay, and there's 27 days left in the month, you could actually have your payment due May 1st, where you're sitting there going, or April 1st, correction. You could make your payment April 1st, but wait a minute, George, when I make my April payment, I'm making a payment that includes interest for all the days of the previous month, but I only closed on the 4th of the month. So how do we adjust for that? Well, in this case, you are going to be given an interest credit for 4 days on that loan. So you're still only paying 20, so you're going to hear on the 1st of April, you're paying technically for 30 days of interest for the prior month, but you were only had the loan for 27 of those days. So you get an interest credit for 4 days. So if you're tight coming into closing, in other words, if it's exhausting all your money to come in with that, sometimes it's better if you can close in that first few days of the month to do the interest credit to reduce your cash to close and have your first payment a little bit sooner, because maybe you've got a couple paychecks or something coming in that you won't have a problem making that April 1st payment. So you'll hear a lot of lenders advertise, come in and refinance your loan, and you could skip as many as 2 payments. I'm not going to get into the mechanics of that, but I mean, you could technically close somewhere between like the 5th and the 15th of the month, pay off the old loan, not have made your March payment on the loan that you're paying off on the refinance, and then you didn't make your March payment on the old loan, you don't have an April payment on the new loan, your payment on the new loan is May 1st. So you would technically, on these refinances, if you time it right, you can skip having the payment that was due. You'd have your March payment on the old loan, April payment on the new loan. You'd skip those 2 months of mortgage payments. So that's how that works when they're advertising. Skip 2 months of mortgage payments to try to do it. You're not paying the interest. You're still paying the interest, but it's going to be added into the payoff on the old loan, and it's going to be added into the loan onto the new loan that you're going to skip that payment on that one for. So hopefully that makes sense. Most times it's not a big deal, but since people ask the question, here's the answer. Thanks again for coming into thecreditjungle.com. This is George Anderson. push button, get mortgage professional, and I would be delighted to work with you on your next mortgage transaction. Have a great day.